The Moors. Unknown compared to most other ancient cultures, the Moors' accomplishments continue to live on in intellectual European society, unbeknownst to either parties. They lived near the Iberian Peninsula, and had contributed to math heavily. Such contributions include the refining of modern algebra and perfecting it to what it is today, as well as the mathematical concept of zero. While their name and culture became lost in history, their impact on society is just as significant, if not more so, as any other culture from the medieval times.
Near the Iberian Peninsula of Spain during the 9th to 15th century was a culture responsible for shaping the modern world with such great mathematicians such as Ibn Rushd, Ibn Pache, and Al-Khalasadi. Conquering the region from a Christian stronghold, the Islamic Moors resided in the region until the Spanish came back to reclaim the land in the 15th century.
A prominent mathematician from this culture is Al-Khalasadi. Although the name doesn't ring a bell like Leonardo da Vinci or Isaac Newton, his contribution to science and mathematics are some of the most important in the world today. Perhaps the most famous is the incorporation of letters and characters into algebraic equations. Although algebra was inspired by earlier works of Greek, Babylonian, and other Islamic cultures, Al-Khalasadi cohesively brought together the many principles derived from these ancient sources and laid the groundwork for algebra as we know and understand it today.
Another important figure was Ibn Pache. Ibn Pache was born in Aragon, Spain in 1085. Because of his great gift with mathematics, he worked as a vizier to the Almoravid governor of Zaragoza. Originally a poet, his writings have varied from botany to biology to medicine to even the existence of the soul. He also wrote about his theories on how motion operated centuries before Isaac Newton was even born. His immense writings were brought to an unfortunate end when he died in 1138. Though heavily affiliated with the psychological and medicinal, his writings have included mathematical ideas that became a foundation for the findings of Ibn Rushd.
Ibn Rushd, also known as Averroes, was a polymath with a special interest in psychology and what would become modern physics. In his years alive, Averroes wrote 3 books on motion and the rate at which motion is moved. He described it as the rate at which work is done in changing kinetic condition of a material body, and correctly argued that the effect and measure of force is change in the kinetic condition of a materially resistant mass. He also developed the independent notion that material bodies had attained non-gravitational resistance toward physics, or as it's better known today, inertia. Because of the region-long dispute amongst the Muslims and the Christian kingdoms of Europe, the region which they resided in was invaded by the Spanish monarchy led by Queen Isabel in the late 15th century. They were driven out of Spain by Christian forces and retreated to Morocco and northern Africa.
While the demise of the Moors was unfortunate, it is hard to deny the way they influenced modern society. They introduced concepts and ideas that were confirmed and widely accepted centuries later by prominent European scientists such as evolution and inertia. It remains a surprise that their tremendous achievements in the world has only been recognized in limited capacity. Considering the strengths of their contributions, one might feel inclined that they deserve as much recognition as the European Renaissance man that would follow in their lead centuries later.